Next up, we have Vapor Original Mix Future Chill by Lockyn, featured in Geometry Dash is my understanding. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a Layman-Friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here, musically. So, if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, at the time of recording, thank you once again for 7,000 subscribers on YouTube. I really appreciate it. If we reach 10,000 before Christmas 2025, I will play a single video game of the choice of the community live on stream. Artists, Lockyn, or anybody else I want to collaborate, just reach out, let me know if you want any of my guitars, Mongolian throat singing, the good old kind of thing. I have a whole spiel about this and a bunch of other stuff at the end of the video. Members get early access, that kind of stuff. Stick around for that. Disclaimers showing on your screen right now, so go ahead and pause the video if you want to read them in full. Otherwise, let's do this. Vapor. Let's go. Okay, we start, I like this. We start with two-part motif, of course. We have the first synth giving us that high note with the second half of the motif playing on the second synth. Motif being the smallest version of your musical idea, the essence from which everything else comes from. We have another synth in the back giving us a semblance of a beat with the chords. And most importantly, we get the idea immediately sequenced. We have the motif sequenced. So sequencing is a way that you can develop your material by repeating the same idea just from a different starting point. So let's say we have this C major motif, right? I can repeat that same melodic idea. There's two ways that you can do sequencing, right? There's diatonic, and then there's chromatic. I think chromatic is the name for the second one. I always forget. I forget some of these terms. So diatonic means that it is within your scale, because the space between notes is not always going to be the same. So if you want it to be within the scale that you're in, this example would be we're on the C major scale, which is all the white keys on the piano, right? And the motif would be this. And if we were to sequence it, that means we're repeating that in different points. If we were to do it diatonically, then that would be something like this. That kind of thing. It can be going up, down, jumping down. You can really do all sorts of sequencing with this kind of stuff, as long as you're not repeating not doing one-to-one repetition. Now, chromatic sequencing would be that you're keeping the distance between the notes the exact same, and this would very much take you out of the scale that you're in. For example, if we were to do this one, we would end up playing a whole note scale, right? So that kind of thing, which, by the way, the whole note scale being one of the very few, very weird scales that exist in music, because it's it's based on the augmented chord. Wait, augmented chord. Very strange one. Yeah, it's a bit unstable in that sense, but also very, mystical. It's very strange. Anyway, let's continue. Let's see where it goes. And it's cool to have Ooh, I like this. So now we bring in an in-between the two first ones, because, by the way, the way that the motif was working is via call and response. Call and response is a musical conversation. You could hear it, right? We have the first high note being played on one synth. When that one stops, the other one plays. When that one stops, the other one plays. With that back and forth, call, response, musical conversation. And now we are adding another element in between. We're adding another one in between that I think is doing a somewhere in between the two melodies. So we're still getting a variation of the motif between the motif. So it's extending the motif in a certain way. I like this. Let's see where it goes. And Okay, we switch instruments around. We bring the piano. Now we're bringing the new version of this version of the motif, just in what is called a piano arrangement or a piano reduction. Piano reduction usually, piano arrangement or reduction in this case. Arrangement just means that you are changing the instruments, you are adapting the music to a different instrument. In the case of a piano, usually it becomes a piano reduction. Piano reductions usually means that you're bringing a full orchestral piece and you're making it so that a piano player can play it. This was very common during, before we had computers, for things like rehearsals, right? If you had an opera, say something like Don Giovanni, right? Like an opera by Mozart, which requires a full orchestra, but you need to rehearse specific scenes. You're not going to bring the whole orchestra to practice a specific scene between two characters, and it's like a very minor conversation, something relatively minor. You're going to have a piano reduction. So you're going to have a pianist playing plus whatever many characters instead of bringing the 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 people that you need for the full orchestra. Right now, in this case, I would say it's either an arrangement or a reduction. And again, arrangement is when you adapt something to something else. For example, you can have metal dubstep arrangements of existing songs. One that we did an LFA for would be Meganecco's Moonlight Sonata Third Movement by Beethoven. That is a Meganecco arrangement. That is an arrangement that Meganecco did. We're keeping the music the same way, we're just adapting it to a different style or different instrumentation. Let's see where this goes. Oh, and we have the drum in the back. Very nice and chill. Oh, we bring the top part of the previous motif. Oh no, we bring the first motif. So now we overlap the motif. Our arrangement and remix the same? No. Remix is under the context of electronic music. Arrangement is not. Arrangement could mean you are taking, for example, in my case, right? I took the jazz standard of Blue Bossa and I made a heavy metal version of it. That is not a metal remix, that is a metal arrangement. If I were to take something like this piece over here, if I were to take Vapor and I would turn it into an orchestral piece, that is not an orchestral remix, that is an orchestral arrangement. The remix is very, very much confined to electronic arrangement. So a remix is going to be an electronic arrangement or rearrangement, because many times the remix is going to alter what the music ends up being at the end of the day, like completely fundamentally change the structure of the piece that you're playing, which would mean that Meganecco's is not a remix, is an arrangement, because it's playing Moonlight Sonata 1-1. With a very brief moment of there being a difference. However, the rest of the piece is 1-1, the same as the Moonlight Sonata Third Movement, just played in Meganecco's style. A remix usually will have like an additional drop or an additional beat or an additional melody that has nothing to do with the rest of the original arrangement, that fundamentally changes how the music itself or the original melodies would feel. So yes, an arrangement is just an adaptation. It's just a pure adaptation. And you can have like arrangements with extra stuff, which would make it like it would still fall within the realm of arrangement, but remix is very much specific to electronic music. There might be a couple of like electronic adjacent genres that have that also have remixes, but in general it's something confined to electronic music, mostly because chances are the first people who did remixes didn't know the term arrangement. Chances are it was just that. They decided to just call it a remix. It was simpler, it was easier, and it was probably more akin to what they were doing rather than how it happens in other pieces where you're actually writing things down, re-recording this, that kind of thing. So yeah, let's see where this goes. Oh, we bring back the initial. We bring back the initial version of the motif. Now with the drums, we have the snare there. Very nice. And hook of the ramp. Oh. Oh, this is very nice. So we drop the beat, and you can tell that this is very much slightly older type of electronic music. We're not focusing on the whoop whoop dubstep kind of dropping the beat. We are hitting those high notes. This is very focused on the melody. We're very much focused on the melody. The rhythm of the accompaniment, the bass, and everything else is staying pretty much the same. And it is... And no, Mr. Guy, it's after this. Let's see where it goes. Variation of the melody. Very nice. I really like the melody. Like, okay, here's the thing, right? If you want me to like your music, make a good melody. I am a melodically oriented composer. I'm a guitarist, so very much melodically oriented. I write my melodies first, and I write melodies on top of melodies on top of melodies. So, difference between a melody and a motif. A melody will contain motifs, and motifs, usually you're going to have several motifs in a row, which will make a phrase. And then your phrase might be a melody, or you can put more than one phrase through to make a full-on melody. So a melody can be as short as a single motif. It can be as long as several phrases worth of motifs. For example, Bach's fugue in G minor, which the motif is this whole thing, right? That's not a motif. That's a full melody. That's a whole melody. And I'm not a pianist, so I completely messed that up. Where the first motif, second motif, third motif, that kind of thing. You have several motifs that make phrases and then compose an entire melody. So melody is a lot more nebulous, which is why the three components of music are melody, harmony, and rhythm. Because melody is a little bit more complex than just motifs. It will have more than just motifs, just like rhythm is more than just your drum beat. So yeah, that's the thing. So composers are geniuses. I mean, especially the older ones. Back in the day, imagine in the times of Bach, of Mozart, of Beethoven, and all these guys, that they didn't have a computer. So everything they composed, they were composing in front of a piano. And that was all they had. They had their keyboard or their piano and their imagination. And that was about it. So, like, Mozart. How was it? And then it's a what? Something like that. He turns that simple melody. And this is from Le Nozze di Figaro, by the way. And he turns it into one of the most beautiful marches in orchestral history. By the way, Le Nozze di Figaro is an incredible opera. Le Nozze di Figaro by Mozart. It's an incredible opera. It's 4 acts. It's comedy. It's a comedy with like telenovela levels of like drama. It's so good. I absolutely love it, and the music in it is, it's Mozart. I'm a Mozart stan. What can I say, right? Anyway, so yeah, we're having the new version of the melody happening here. Let's see where it goes. Oh, I like how the rhythm section is so locked in. And also, one thing to note as well is the higher melody, that higher melody, that we're having up above that started as being one note and now is just a full melody. Now it is doing, technically speaking, what is called a reduction. Reduction is when you play something faster. By the way, as you can see, I did mention a piano reduction before. Now we have a reduction in the melody. There are many concepts like this in music that overlap. For example, the concept of inversion. This can happen in melody. It can happen in chords. And they mean very different things. Just like reduction in this case, in the terms of a melody, means a very, very different thing than a piano reduction. So reduction is when you play some, in the melody means when you play something faster. So if we were to have, and we reduce it, basically that. So now we are taking those high notes that were very, very slow, and now we've sped it up so that it's become its own melody. So it's really cool. Let's see where it goes. Metalhead and Mozart head. Oh, Metalhead as well. Bit of sequencing there, nice. And off the ramp we go. Off the ramp being a colloquial term that I use, colloquial. By that I mean there's no official academic definition for it, or at least I'm not using it for the sake of simplicity. I'm choosing not to use it for the sake of simplicity. And off the ramp is what I call a specific type of transition. It can be as short as a couple of beats, it can be as long as an entire section, and the purpose of it is to make your listener feel suspended up in the air at the mercy of inertia, waiting to see where you land. How do you do that? Remove the drums. Maybe the bass as well, kind of how it has happened over here. Yeah, let's see where it goes. We are now doing something similar to what we were doing before when we introduced the motif between the motifs. Let's see. Is this wrong? What do you think, Mr. Guy? Alright, So now we are having another synth engaging in accents. So accents in music, accents or accentuation, therefore accentuation. You're highlighting specific points in a melody. For example, I always bring this one, right? So yeah, this is featured in Geometry Dash. So if we were to have and I were to say, okay, I want to accentuate the second and third notes. So there you go. We just play something else. We're bringing another instrument, another layer that is highlighting specific points in the rhythm. And right now we are having that middle phrase being highlighted by this other synth. Let's see where it goes. Ooh. We bring the piano arrangement, we bring the piano reduction with the drums now. Now doing another variation, we're having it. I think it's doing sequencing and inversion. Inversion, as I mentioned, inversion in melody means that you're playing something upside down, right? So in this case, if we were to do this one, upside down, inversion, simple as. And you can always like sequence it or repeat it from a different point, right? Like engage in octave displacement. That is it. Like same idea, just inverted and sequenced an octave higher. There are so many options when it gets to this kind of stuff. So let's see where it goes. We're bringing that one of the other synths back. We're overlapping the synths with the piano now. And off the ramp again. This version, very nice. Bringing that snare in to start bring a bit more beat. And that dropping of the beat once again. Focusing on that melody. The reduced version of that highest melody. Oh, there we go. Absolutely beautiful. And we are having some variation on the drum here, primarily in the bass drum. We're speeding up the bass drum a few times here and there, engaging in a little bit of extra beats here and there. But the overall feeling of this is staying the exact same. This is very good. Let's see where it goes. Ooh, extra bit of going off the ramp. And we are having this new version of the melody. Candy, welcome back. How you doing? Going full on. Oh. Going even higher. Even higher melodies. So yes, as you can see, another way that you can add more tension, more climax to your climax. Just keep going up in this scale. Just keep going for higher notes. Keep going for higher notes. There you go, Candy. There you go. All right, let's hear this. Very beautiful, that reduction. There we go. Now we bring a partial reference to that initial motif, just with the piano and the synths. Oh, this is very lovely. Still with that climax. Absolutely beautiful. A lot of inversion there as well, but very nice. Off the ramp again. I assume we're in the outro territory now. Having that piano with the synths again. How are you gonna end this? And alright, we're slowly removing layers. We're slowly obfuscating. We're doing a crossfade here. We're slowly obfuscating these more and more. And there we go. We hit the melody one more time. One last hit of the first note, and it ends. What a beautiful melody that was. That was really nice. That was very, very chill. There you go, there you go. That was Vapor, the original mix, Future Chill by Lockyn, featured in Geometry Dash, is my understanding. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here, musically. So, if you're watching this on the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, thank you for 7,000 subscribers on YouTube. I was not expecting to make it this fast, so thank you very, very much. If we somehow hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube before Christmas of 2025, I will play a single video game of the choice of the community, whatever y'all want, as long as it's within terms of service. And in addition to the fanfiction audiobook, we're also going to do a bunch of giveaways, most likely, so there is that. This has to be achieved via legitimate and honest means only. No account duping, no botting, no buying followers, no alt accounts, no rat behaviors like that. Go share the videos, the streams with your friends, with your families, with your family's friends, with your friends' families. Those are two very distinct concepts, by the way. With your online and offline communities, use also the hype function on YouTube. I don't fully know how it works, but we have a group on the Discord that does. Link down below. Go coordinate with them. Let me just not break my microphone. Yes, artists, Lockyn or otherwise, I want to collaborate. If anybody wants to collaborate with me, just reach out. If you want any of my musical skills, whether it is guitars, Mongolian throat singing, you know, the good old kind of thing, regular singing, voice acting, or if you want help figuring out something for your composition, just reach out, let me know, we'll figure it out. And if you're in the audience and you know anybody who could benefit from any of our musical skills, reach out, let them know. Please do not harass anyone. Please do not spam anyone. Be cool about things. Don't be a rat. Members get early access to the content. I schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays, and if you are a paid member, you get access to the videos when I schedule them, at least for the LFAs. So become a member today. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3.5 seconds, I will be linking it in the description down below. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, check the pinned comment on this video. It has the instructions on what to do. And if you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. If you are not in Europe, do not worry. We have the full up-to-date streaming schedule showing in your local time zone in both Discord and Twitch. So if you live in McDermott, and you're like, yeah, but what time is 6 p.m. in Hungary? I don't live there. Do not worry. Just go to Discord or Twitch. They're both linked down below, and it's going to show in your local time zone. And yes, I just hit my pedal board on my guitar. My guitar's pedal board. And so, yes, and follow the gaming channel. I have a gaming channel, because of course I have a gaming channel. I'm on YouTube. What else could I possibly have? Games are Basterd. That's where I put the gaming after show recordings when they happen. They get recorded live on stream as an after show, and then the recordings go there. Link down below, or just search on YouTube, same username as James R. Basterd. Just swap the J for a G, and you got it. And yeah, there you go. There you go. Vapor, Future Chill, Lockyn. That was beautiful, man. That was beautiful. GD stuff. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. But yeah, let's move on.